The 7th of February marked the 10-year anniversary of the report of the UN Commission of Inquiry on Human Rights in the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The Commission found that systematic, widespread and gross human rights violations have been and are being committed by North Korea. I am particularly concerned about the parts of the report that talk about violations of religious freedom. The report states that North Korea considers the spread of Christianity a serious threat to the political system and leadership of the country. Hence, Christians are prohibited from practicing their religion and are persecuted. They are subject to severe punishments, including prison sentences and torture. Sadly, 10 years later, the situation has not improved. North Korea is now less in the spotlights than other countries. That is a failure, bearing in mind the great injustice that is taking place. North Korea commits serious violations of human rights. Too often, it is only about nuclear weapons and isolation. But North Korea has been the #1 among the countries with the most serious Christian persecution for years. Persecution of religion in North Korea must be put back in the spotlight. This is what I emphasized 2 years ago when I organized a conference in the European Parliament on the matter. Shortly after my event, the European Parliament adopted a resolution on the human rights situation in North Korea, including the persecution of religious minorities. In this resolution, the European Parliament reiterates its strong condemnation of the decades-long systematic state repression in all its excesses by North Korea. The resolution also expresses deep concern about the systematic violations of freedom of religion and belief in North Korea. It urges the authorities to cease all violence against religious minorities and to grant them the right of freedom of religion and belief, the right of association and the right of freedom of expression. At the same time, the resolution stresses the need to hold the perpetrators of these violent attacks to account. My political party has a long track record of standing up for religious freedom in the world, both in the Netherlands and in the European Parliament. Christian persecution is a hallmark of totalitarian regimes which can do this because they also suppress all other fundamental freedoms. These regimes are characterized by the imprisonment of political opponents and the absence of any form of democratic countervailing power. Religious freedom can only be realized where there is also respect for other fundamental freedoms as described in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I urge other parliaments and also the European Parliament to do as much as possible to tackle the injustice in North Korea. We need to work closely with the US and other allies and keep hearing the stories. We cannot do this alone. Let us not forget the people of North Korea in our prayers.